Hi guys, today we're gonna look at a web design question. This question is from the 2018 paper, and I've just done an extract of the pages that are on that specific paper. So this is the first page. Then when we scroll down, let's just have a look at the question. Activity 3, that's using web authoring software. Suggested time is 35 minutes. So we are told you may use any appropriate software for this activity. So task WA1. So Sami has started to create a website for Crochan Badminton League. So the website will have a home page. That page will be index.html and a page for each team in the league. Now for web pages, remember they usually have a .html extension to show that this is a web page. So Sami has already created pages for Athlete All Stars. The page is called athlete.html. Has created another one for Brosna Beers, and that's brosna.html. So these pages are shown in figure 1. So figure 1 is the one that is up here, and you can see we have a page for Athlete All Stars, this section here, this top part here, and then the other one on Brosna Beers. So you notice that the two pages actually have the same outline. So where we have a logo there, the name of the page, the website, and then the sections for the different pages, yeah? And then this section, so the two pages have different images to differentiate them. So let's continue looking at the questions. So your task is to create a web page for the other 4 teams, and the page must use a dark blue sans serif font, have a pale blue yellow background, include links to home pages, and the logo you created in part A1. So just give me a moment. Okay, so we are told to include a link to the home page and other teams and other team pages. Then there should be a logo, and this logo we are supposed to have created in part A of task AG1, and then this logo is what we will replace whatever is at the top corner, this part here, this text. So this one needs to have a logo there. So this question, now this task AG1, you're supposed to have done it before, but so today's question wants us to create a web page. Yeah, so we've been told that it has to conform to all these conditions. Use a blue sans serif or pale yellow background, links to other pages, the logo you created, appropriate information for each team, selected from web pages, create for web page, blah 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 blah. So what I'll do, I'll start from here, create a web page for clicker calls. Now what I do, I'll have to go back to this outline because all pages are conforming to the same outline. So when you look at this section here, this section here is actually some form of a table. So this is a table with 1 row, I think 2 rows, 1, 2, yeah. And how many columns? 1, 2, 3. So I'll show you how to get here when we're done. So what I'll do, I'll need to open the application that I'll use. Just hold on. Okay, so remember we are using Expression Web, and some of you might be using a different web authoring software. Like I recommend you guys to use this one called Blue Griffon. So it's also free, so just find it and you can use it. So okay, so we are conforming to this design. So we've said 2 rows, 3 columns, and you can see the columns. Yeah, so go back, click on table, then insert table. So we've said 2 rows, 3 columns. We just change that to 3. Let's click OK. So we have some form of a table now. Yeah, so when we go back to the design, you notice that the top part, this part that has the title, the web title, is actually one cell. So we need to come back here. These 2 cells, this one and this, those 2, highlight them, are actually one cell. So right click on them and click on modify, and then click merge cells. So it becomes one cell. And then let's look at something else that has been merged. So we have 1, 2, 3. So let's check. 1, 2, 3. I think everything is fine that way. Okay, so according to the question, this section here needs to have a logo. So come back to that top section, just make sure the cursor is there, then click on insert, then we're looking for picture from file. Now we're locating the file that we just created, the picture that we just edited. So we have it in in our folder. Just give me a moment to locate that. Yeah, it's here. It's in web design files, images, calls. Remember we saved it as calls. So click insert. Alternate text that describes the image. So this is a logo. So I'll just type logo, then click OK. Now the image comes in, but the image is way too bigger than what a logo should look like. Look like. So what we do, this is what we do. Now from this interface here, down here we are working from design. Now we need to look at the code of this page for us to understand the number of ways of resizing these images. Like for example, I can just click on the image like I've done so, then come down here. Then what I'll do, I'll click on this arrow while pressing shift. You can adjust the image. Still pressing shift. I do this to do what we call maintain the aspect ratio. Yeah. So, but if you know, if for a logo has a standard size, yeah, dimension. So what I'll do, I'll just go to the code instead of resizing it. The image is selected and I've called it logo, and you see it's highlighted. So I notice that the width is 1099 and the height is 609. That's too big for a logo. So probably let's change it to something like 200. And I'm sure we'll have to reduce this also, because still this one is too big. 200, 100. So when we go back to design, the image has changed. Yeah. So if we continue resizing it from here, again I was clicking on that icon while pressing and holding shift. Yeah. So I have the image there. So if it's too small, probably you can try and make it bigger. But now I wasn't pressing shift. You notice the image has been kind of distorted. Yeah, because if I just continue, I can mess around with the image, and probably that's not what we want. We want to maintain the aspect ratio. So I'll undo to take it back, and I think I'll undo again to how it was. Then I'll press shift this time around, and I'll click on this icon here and resize. I think that's fine. Okay, so that's my logo. So what I do now, I go back to the question. The question wants me to type the top part is a crotch and badminton league. So there's a file that has been provided. If I just go back, this file here, if I just open this, because we will be using text from this file to actually put some text on the page. So let's just open it and see. Yeah, but now it doesn't give us that title. I didn't want to type that title, but let me just go ahead and type it. It's in the second cell. So alright, so I've typed. So whenever I type, you see it automatically adjusts to fit in the cell. So here we have these links: home, Hotmeet, All Stars, Pros Nobrias, Clicker Calls, all this information that we need to have in this cell. So what I do, I'll just go back. Let me just have this side by side, and just type this real quick. So I'm done typing what is supposed to be in this cell, and if you look at that, yeah, all the text is there. We'll come back and make them links to make them appear with an underline for the way the links usually appear. So let's go back to the question. Okay. Now we are doing this for clicker calls. So here, of course, we expect to type text for clicker calls. So what I'll do, I'll actually just copy this. Copy that, and I'm putting it in this cell. Just paste it there, edit, paste, then press enter, because we want to add more text. So the text that's supposed to go here is actually in this Word document. So clicker calls, then the text. We can actually copy the whole thing instead of the way I copied. So I'll copy this. Now I won't paste this directly in that in Expression Web, I have to take it to Notepad, and there's a reason for that, because in Word already has its own formatting that it has applied to the text, so we don't want that formatting to come with that text to Expression Web, because there is a way that will be specified for us to format in Expression Web. So I'll copy this, come with this, and then actually paste it in this. Let me just delete this. So I'm copying everything from the notepad that I just copied, so I have it there, and then come back to the question. The question now needs an image. So according to the question, this second part here, so they're telling me create a web page for clicker calls. I've done that, and then include the images calls you saved in. So I've already done that in the I believe I did the wrong thing. The logo is not supposed to be calls, but this calls image is the one that is supposed to appear here where this section is. So the logo was created, I think, in another section. So, but don't worry about that. If you've already created a logo, the same way we inserted the image here is the same way we do. So what I'll do is to include an image in this cell here. So let me just go ahead. The cell is actually has been shrinked to that space. So I'll click there, and I do the same thing I did to insert an image. So picture from file, and then it's called. There is a different image for the logo. So let me just call it calls, the way we did with the first one. Yeah. So it's there, but still it's too large, and we need to resize it. So again, the same procedure. Alright, so we have our page. Now it's actually becoming something like this. Yeah, it has the same outline. So let's look at the second instruction that they want us to perform. So we've done that, and then save the web page as clicker, create a web page for Topea Dragon. So I think we are actually finished this part. So the only thing that we need to understand is to look at more instructions, like for example, the page must use a dark blue sans serif font. So the text, this is for text. So when we go back, for example, this text here, we just highlight this, and we don't expect this one to be text. Up here we can now specify if it's a paragraph, if it's a heading, and let's pick heading 1. We haven't seen that instruction, but it makes sense if we make it that way. Let's see how it appears in that. I think it appears at the center. So if that instruction is there, we need to see it, but for now let's just do that. Then we are told it's supposed to be sans serif. Yeah, it's already sans serif, and the size we haven't been told. And then we are told the color is supposed to be dark blue. So what we do, we don't need to worry about that. So what we do here, let's give it a color. Let's give it any color. Let's say something close to blue. Yeah, blue. And then it's supposed to be dark blue. This one is just basically blue. So for us to specify dark blue, now we have to give it a color first of all. Now when you're done, just come back here. It's already selected. Come back to code, and you notice it's highlighted there. Now we need to see where it's written color. It's on there, but now we focus on this part of style, because color is actually a style for text. Yeah, so we look for style 1. Style 1 is here. Now we need to locate style 1 somewhere up here. Yeah, so let's just go back and look for style 1. Style 1 is there. It's been given to the text. Color. Now we need to. This one is a color code, but we can actually use what? Use the name dark blue. Let's see whether is it dark blue or pale blue. Dark blue, yeah. So when you put that and then go back, it doesn't change. Probably the way we are naming our color is different. Let's put it as 1 1 and go back. Yeah, dark blue. It's not like the blue that we had. Yeah, it's a different color. And then we are told for the page background it's supposed to be pale yellow. Yeah. So for our page, come back here. Now for the color is now just white. If you want a different color for this, just look down here where we have PG color. Yeah, it's just plain white. So click on it and we pick any color. So we are talking about pale yellow. It's yellow now. So what we need to do, go back to the code and look for body. Body is here, and then it's also given in a code, but we can now change this to pale yellow. I notice you're supposed to type it as one word, pale yellow. Then go back to design. Okay. Is there any difference? Let's see. That was background green. Now it's telling me it's pale yellow. Is this pale yellow? That one is just yellow only. Let's see more colors. This thing doesn't give us the names. But if we want to narrow it down, if you have that option of knowing the color code for pale yellow, color code for pale yellow color code, pale yellow. So let's see what we get. Okay, first of all, let's confirm whether it's working. Probably it's already pale yellow. Maybe my eyes are not seeing properly. Let me change this yellow to green, pale green, and then go back. Yeah, it's working. Actually, I think it was pale yellow the way it was. Yeah, and then you just go back to the code and then change it back to pale. And I hope I'm getting the spelling yellow correctly, pale yellow. So when I go back, I think it's some yellowish. I wish we got the light yellow, light yellow. It's not pale yellow. Which yellow green, light yellow, papaya quick, light yellow, one dark yellow. Does it mean there is no pale yellow? Okay, so let's say we go with light yellow. Just hypothetically pale. Probably yellow. And let's go with light yellow. Yeah. So instead of pale, we call it light for our page. So we go to the code. You're looking for that part, change it to light yellow and see how it changes. And it's actually this one is better, yeah. But of course we will just have to type pale yellow according to the question. So we've done that. Now include links to the home page, blah blah, the other pages. Now we are done with the calls. We need to create another one for Brovea Dragons and create another one for Airy Eagles. So what I'll do, I'll just save this page, just click save, and it's a .html file. So just call it according to the instruction, you're supposed to save it as called.html, and we are saving it in let's save it in the same place as our file there. So just save it. So this one is calls.html. Okay, so just give me a moment. Okay, now what we can do next, we haven't been told the size of this, so which means we can actually increase the size. Let's say something like 24. 24 is too small. 36 and 36 is fine. And then for clicker calls also we expect this one to be but it won't be heading 1 like our title, so probably give it something like heading 2. Then let's look where the others are. They're all at the center, they're all centered. We expect this one to be centered also. Put it at the center. And then remember, we say the text all have to be pale blue. Yeah, so I have highlighted that. Go to the code, and then style 3. We have style 2 and style 3 for this, so look for style 2 and style 3. So we're looking for the same color that we gave to the main site heading, which was I think style 1, which had this text dark blue. So we just copy this and we replace this where there is a code, paste it there, and then even style 3, same thing, paste it there, dark blue. Okay, when you go back, all your text is dark blue. Even the same thing for this text, you need also to give it a color, just give it blue. Then go to the code, it's already highlighted. All of them are in style 4, so we look for style 4, then we give it dark blue, just like we did with the others. Let's copy this and then paste it here, paste that, and then when you go back to design, they're all appearing the same. Now we've saved this page. Now we need to save to create another page. So I'll do just one for Dover. I've already done for Clicker. Now I need to save the other one for Dover Dragons. So what I'll do, I've already saved this. Just save to reflect the changes. So what I'll do now, I'll save this file. The same I've already saved as code. So I'll come to File, Save As, because I don't want to start from scratch for the other pages. So I'll call this one Dover. So there are a number of pages that you're creating, so you do this for all of them, so that you only create the first one, the others you just make a copy of the same and then go in and make changes. So Dover, so when I do that, I actually have 2 files now. So when I look at where is it, look at that folder for design. So I have 2 files, codes that I created first and Dover I've just created now. So what I do while here, I just can close this, then go to File, then Open. So what am I opening? I'm opening, it's in this folder, I'm opening Dover. So I'm now making changes to this page. Remember, Clicker is already has its own changes. So what I do, I go back to the Word document and I copy the text for Dover. Copy. Remember, we take it back to Notepad, paste it there, then copy it again, bring it back to this section, just highlight the whole thing, then do Ctrl V, then again Dover, it's heading 2. Have to be careful how we select Dover, then heading 2, it's at the center, highlight the whole thing, give it color. We do the same thing for this, give it color, and when we go to the code, we're looking for all those styles. So dark blue, we're looking for dark blue to replicate dark blue everywhere. So copy this just quickly. I think I'll pause here and then do it, then come back. So I've made the changes to all the styles for everything in my page, so it's there. Okay, so now what I'm going to do now is to actually create this text into links. I have 2 pages now. The links actually link to other pages, which means you'll have a page for home called index.html, you have a page for Authmate, you have a page for Browser All Stars. Clicker Calls, we've already created it. Then Dover Dragon is the same page we are actually working in. Okay, so now what we need to do is to actually link this text to the specific pages that they represent. So for example, Clicker Calls is supposed to be linked to the page that we created first, the Clicker Calls page. So I'll highlight that, then click Insert. Then what I'm going to insert is I'm inserting a hyperlink. So just click on hyperlink. So when it comes here, the first option is what we are selecting, existing file or web page, and the file is actually directly opening the folder that I'm working in, and the file is this one. So just click on that, and when you're done clicking on it, just click OK. So you now notice that it actually changes into it. Now the Where Dragons will actually be linked to itself. Yeah. So because this text we want to use it in a different page. So let me just show you what I mean. It will be linked to itself. So just click on that hyperlink, and then it's linking it to itself. Then that is it. Then if we have other pages, of course we do the same thing. So what I need to do now is I don't want to repeat the whole process for all the pages. So assuming I'm done creating all the pages, this Airy and front and Firestorm, I'll do the same thing. Just select the menu, insert, hyperlink, and look for the file. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, let me save this. Let me just save this. So now I'm opening the other page, the one that we created first. That's colds. Now for colds, there are no links, there's nothing because we have to do it here, but we've already done it here. So what's the point of repeating the whole thing if we've already done it here? So what we do, we only like I'm saying, what we do, we only do it in one if we have all the pages here. So we can do separately for each page this image, text, and all that, but this one we can just do it in one file. And what we do, assuming we've linked all of them, just copy this, edit, copy, then come to this page and actually replace this, because we don't want to repeat the whole thing again, and paste. Now you notice the ones that have been linked, so assuming all of them have been linked, all the links will appear here. Okay, so we've done that, and then go ahead and save. So we do that for the other pages. You just saw what I did. The image, now the image for this page, we need to change it because it's using the image for Clicker. So let's look at the question. The question said, well, what did it say? Include an appropriate image from the images folder. So they haven't specified. What we do here, we now need to delete this image. The cursor is still there. Go to insert, picture from file. So we're going to the images. So let's view these images differently. Let's a different view, large icons, and I can even enlarge this. So assuming we pick that, yeah. So insert that. Put it there because it's about their dragons. There, that's fine. That's fine. So maybe you can go in and I think this page is just fine. Even the other one, I believe this image should be the same size. So if we borrow from this size a little bit, so what we do, just look at the code. The image is already selected. I want to look at the size of the image. The image is 640 for 29. Okay. So if I come back here, I want to do the same thing for this image. Let's say it's 6 something, 600, maybe 400. Around there is a proper size. Oh, I think I just resized the wrong image. That was the logo. So I need to resize this image here. The image will exist somewhere down here. Around 600 and 400. Just come in there and change the sizes. If you're told in the exam the size, and that will be even better. So I think that's fine. Let's try this way. So you can now save it. So from here, what I'm leaving you guys to do is to do the remaining pages. So I've shown you how to create one. You use one. Sorry. Use one to create a duplicate of the other pages. Just go in and change the text. So I'm expecting you to create Airy Eagles, and contain Firestorm using the same concept. But now I need you to do all of them, and what you will do is just take a screenshot of the image of the page and then send it. Look for an appropriate logo and then use it in the section, in the place where you're supposed to have the logo. I think that is it, and I believe with this knowledge we are actually getting somewhere. All right. Okay.